Hey Mustangs, welcome to Press Pass, SMU's Spotlight on Sports. I'm Will Daughton.
And I'm Cody Banks. Let's go. SMU Football will return to Ford Stadium on Friday for its annual open spring practice. The practice will begin at 7 p.m. and gates will open at 6:30. Fans are expected to wear face coverings and practice social distancing while inside the stadium. Off the field, there will also be food trucks and a raffle where fans can win some Mustang football merch. The Mustangs will begin their 2021 season on September 4th against Abilene Christian. On the golf course, the Mustang men's golf team placed second at the American Athletic Conference Championships this weekend. The team shot 12 under par and finished 5 strokes behind conference champion South Florida. SMU junior Noah Goodwin shot 8 under par and finished tied for second individually. The Mustangs will now wait to hear which site they'll play at for NCAA regionals, with competition beginning May 17th.
The SMU women's rowing team, who is ranked 14th nationally, competed in the Longhorn Invitational over the weekend. The team placed top 2 in 4 of the events at the competition. SMU won all 3 of its heats in the varsity 8+ boats to lead to 2 second-place finishes overall. In the second varsity 4+ heat 2, the ponies took 3rd place. SMU would go on to finish in 4th in the final A race in the 4+ division. The Mustangs now look ahead to the American Athletic Conference Championships May 16th in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. SMU men's and women's tennis both competed in the American Athletic Conference Championship. The men's team lost in a close match to number 29 ranked USF in the semifinals. The match lasted 3.5 hours with 3 singles matches going into 3rd sets. John Simone Verbsky and Julian Steinhausen completed a huge comeback in their doubles match. At the end of the match, however, it was USF who clinched 4-2, earning them a spot in the finals. The women's team fell in the semifinals as well to the number 3 seeded Tulsa 4-0. The Mustangs lost 2 of 3 matches in doubles, giving Tulsa an early 1-0 lead. In singles, the ponies won the first sets on courts 1, 2, and 6, but the Golden Hurricane pushed back, winning 3 singles matches, securing their victory. Before the conference championship, the Mustangs were ranked 38th in the country, but are still awaiting their new NCAA ranking following the tournament, as well as their fate concerning nationals.
Even though the SMU equestrian team season has ended, individual performers are still receiving awards. Freshman Nia Hearns and sophomore Danny Latimer were both named National Collegiate Equestrian Associate Riders of the Year. Kearns becomes the first in SMU program history to earn the award for horsemanship after finishing the season with a 10-1 record. She was also named the Eastern College Athletic Conference Freshman Rider of the Year. Latimer earned Rider of the Year honors in reigning, going undefeated at the national competition in Waco. The future is bright for these Mustangs and the equestrian team. Time now for this week's trivia question. With the NFL draft coming up, who is the highest SMU player to be drafted since 2000? Stay tuned for that answer later in the show. After the break, Will Daughton has more on the Mustangs entering the 2021 NFL Draft. Stay with us.
I was really serious about lacrosse in high school. I had a lot of fun playing it. I played sports all my life, and then I just didn't want the commitment in college.
It's just a great way to be a part of something at SMU, wear our colors, wear our name on a uniform and go compete against other schools, but also that doesn't take a lot of time.
Just right away, it was just like a big friend group of every different kind of person.
We're good players, it's fun, you get to play a sport you love, and after you graduate from college, you will never be able to wear a team with a school name on and compete and represent them on a national level.
To join the girls lacrosse team, visit their Connect website at smu.campuslabs.com.
Welcome back to Press Pass. Time now for your update on our local pro teams. The Dallas Stars played 4 games this week, 2 against the Red Wings and 2 against the Hurricanes. The Stars split both series. With both wins coming in overtime, Dallas is currently 2 points behind the Predators for a playoff spot with 2 games in hand. The Mavericks played 4 games as well, winning both games versus the Lakers as well as taking down the Warriors. The lost one to the Kings, and currently are 6th in the standings. If their position stands or gets higher, their team will not have to participate in the play-in round. The Rangers are off to a rough start to the year with a record of 10-14. They are currently in the midst of a 7-game homestand. SMU TV's Will Daughton brings us an update on everything NFL draft.
What's up, Mustangs? With the NFL draft beginning Thursday, I'll give you the lowdown on picks and names to watch out for. After missing the playoffs with a 6-10 record last season, the Cowboys hold the number 10 pick in this year's draft. They are expected to try and bolster their defense after giving up the 5th most points per game last year. Most experts think Dallas will take cornerback Patrick Surtain II out of Alabama with the 10th pick. He could be a force to be reckoned with on the outside after having 12 pass breakups for the Crimson Tide last year. Other mock drafts have the Cowboys taking South Carolina corner J.C. Horn or Oregon offensive line Penei Sewell. The Cowboys have 9 other picks throughout the other 6 rounds. On the hilltop, there are a few SMU standouts hoping to hear their names called. Quarterback Shane Buechele, tight end Kylan Granson, and defensive back Brandon Stevens are all prospects that could be drafted in the later rounds over the weekend. That's it from me, Mustangs. For SMU TV, I'm Will Daughton.
Thanks, Will. Currently, there are 17 former Mustangs playing in the NFL, and hopefully more will hear their name called at the draft this year. Other young athletes are also preparing for their busiest time of the year. Time now to check in with SMU TV's Brooklee Han, who has more about how a physical therapist is helping Olympians prep for Tokyo.
Hey Mustangs, I'm Brooklee Han and welcome to the Boulevard to Tokyo. At an Olympic Games, so much attention is given to the athletes, and deservedly so. But there are a lot of people operating behind the scenes helping those athletes be at their best. This week, I had the chance to speak with Nicholas Allen, a physical therapist for the Australian Olympic team. Allen began working with elite athletes in the years leading up to the 2014 Winter Games, and he was ultimately selected to accompany the Australian team to Sochi. While his main function as a PT at events like the Olympics is to be present in case of accidents and to help athletes deal with minor injuries and muscle sorenesses, there is a lot more to what Allen provides for his athletes.
I would help with other things like communicating information about what race they were up to or what heat they were up to, so the athletes knew how far off their heat was, or occasionally information that I'd gathered from talking to other staff about other athletes, and that so and so might be a little bit sore and stuff like that.
Allen admits that just like the athletes themselves, he felt some extra pressure in caring for athletes at the Olympics. However, he does his best to try and distract his athletes from the massive scale of the event.
The level of pressure on the athletes is significantly different. And there's so much media, and the media is just there in your face the whole time. A lot of the athletes, particularly when it's their first Olympics, are actually a little bit like, there's so much media, so many people asking them questions, so many people wanting other things of them, that as a physio, I also saw my role was trying to create in the space where I was treating people a little bit of an escape from that, So, and being able to be sort of lighthearted and sort of offer a smile or some encouragement or a bit of reassurance and stuff like that.
Well, That's all for this week. Thanks for watching, and join me again next time on the Boulevard to Tokyo to hear from NBC5's very own Brian Curtis and Laura Harris about covering an Olympic Games during a global pandemic.
Thanks, Brooklee. The Kentucky Derby is finally back to its normal date after the coronavirus pandemic caused last year's race to be delayed. SMU TV's Shelby Fishman joins us with more on the story.
The 147th Kentucky Derby is set to take place this Saturday at Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky. 20 horses are competing in the race, and the winner will take home a $3 million prize. Because of the pandemic, fans will fill the complex at 50% capacity and are still required to wear a mask. This is the first race in the Triple Crown and will soon be followed by the Preakness and Belmont Stakes in the coming weeks. For SMU TV, I'm Shelby Fishman.
Thanks, Shelby. You can watch the 147th Kentucky Derby this Saturday, which will officially kick off at around 5:57 p.m. Central Time.
Time now for the answer to this week's trivia question, which was, who is the highest SMU player to be drafted since 2000? This answer is Cortland Sutton, who was drafted 40th overall by the Denver Broncos in 2018. Well, that's all we have. Be sure to check out our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest on SMU sports. And as always, be sure to keep up with your Hilltop sports by checking out smudailycampus.com. You can catch Press Pass and other SMU TV shows on Channel 9 on University Park Cable.
That does it for this edition of Press Pass. Thanks for watching.
This is our last Press Pass of the year, but make sure to tune in next semester for more Hilltop sports. Until then, have a great summer, Mustangs, and pony up.
SMU TV and the Division of Journalism want to thank our underwriters, North Park Center in Dallas, Javier's Gourmet Mexicano on Cole Avenue, and Advance ER off West Lovers Lane. We appreciate your support of student media.